Am I wrong for not moving back in with my mom and hanging up on her when she called me crying that she missed me and wanted me back? My dad died when I, 17, was 11. My mom dated for a while but nothing serious until she met Dan. Dan's a single dad with 2 kids, 4 and 6, and after dating for almost 2 years they moved in together 3 months ago. I was cool with it until 2 incidents happened in a week. First one was coming home to the kids in my room and my room was trashed. I'd made my bed before school and they'd pulled it apart. My clothes were all over the floor. The 4-year-old has pissed himself and the evidence was left visible on my piles of clothes. My mom had taken the kids out of the room and cleaned up the 4-year-old but left my room as it was for me to clean up. I was angry. Dan explained it away as they're just young kids and told me not to be mad. I told him to watch his kids and keep them out of my room. Mom told me not to be mad at anyone and these things happen. I said not if they kept an eye on the kids. I asked if I should go in and do the same to their room. Dan told me I'm old enough to know better. I told him to make his kids clean it and Mom and Dan were quick to say they were too young to do that. The same thing happened a week later only without the 4-year-old pissing himself this time, and this time they wrecked the photo of me and my dad that was in my room and they broke the office chair I had in there. This time I lost it on my mom and told her that I was getting the out of there and she could keep Dan and his little brats to herself because I wasn't dealing with it. Mom told me not to be so rash and said I just needed to calm down. Dan stood in front of the door to stop me from leaving. He said my mom's heart would break if I left. I told him I wasn't living with him and his kids. I went to stay with my grandparents and my mom expected me to stay at most a week or 2 and then come home or whatever. But I see this as home now. Not having my room trashed or the bathroom all messy and gross from Dan's kids has been so good. And I'm so mad about that photo. I had a copy but it wasn't the point. My mom's only now starting to accept I'm not coming back. She apologized a few times but I ignored her. She called the other day and cried and told me she missed me and wanted me to come home and she'd do anything. I hung up before she could finish and it didn't convince me to move back in. Which sent Dan off on a rant at me over voicemail about how selfish I'm being and how I'm hurting my mom. AITA?